Hello there, this is Micah, and this is the weekly Forex market update and forecast. Now, today right now we'll be looking at the GBPUSD, USDCHF, USDJPY, and the USDCAD currency pairs in this video. Right, we're going to be doing a top-down analysis of what these pairs are telling us and what to expect from them going forward. But first, before we get started, before we go into that, let's quickly take a look at the product that I offer, the Premium Forex Signal Service, which goes for $200 monthly. Now, this signal service will take your trading to the highest possible level, right? Now, the systems that I use to derive these signals that I post on this channel are highly profitable systems that have been tested and trusted over the years, to systems that you can actually bank on. I strongly believe that we shouldn't trade just for the sake of trading, but actually trade for the sake of actually profiting and making profit in the short term and in the long term, right? So this is why this premium forex signal service is available for you. So if you're interested, copy the link in the description below, the link to my direct Telegram contact. Copy the link, paste it in your browser, chat me up, and tell me how you would like to come on board, and I'm going to enroll you on board, right? So, and I'm also going to put you through personally on how to make the best use of these signals. So that's for the signals part. Now let's get back into the business of the day. So the business of the day, GBPUSD. Now let's take it from the monthly time frame now. What has GBPUSD been telling us? GBPUSD has been quite bearish, very bearish in the long term, but we're seeing the market push higher. We've seen that, starting from I believe this was September 2022. We've seen that push, and is it going to break higher? Well, we can't say for now, but most likely will, or might rather. Let's look at the weekly time frame and for a closer view. Well, it's a similar story on the weekly as well. We're seeing higher highs, right? We're seeing higher lows rather. We're seeing higher lows. Over here, we didn't get a higher high over here. But are we going to get another higher high? We can't say for now, right? But we're going to take a look at the zones where we should, look closely for opportunities to buy or sell. Now, if we take it down to the daily time frame, we see that market is coming close to this 1.28919 zone. Right, so the 1.28919 zone is a zone of interest. So if we see price coming to that zone, using the daily time frame as the entry price, as the entry or the execution time frame, if we get a bearish day close after price has come into the zone, if we get a bearish day close, then we can look for an opportunity to sell the market, right? We can look for maybe a 1-to-1 or a little more than that for an opportunity to sell, right? And now if we don't see that, if we see price crash, first of all, let's take a look at this scenario. If we see price push higher but does not get to this 1.28919 zone, but it comes back into this zone, the 1.27308 zone or the 1.26772 zones, any of those zones, if price pushes into any of those zones and gives us a bullish day close above that zone, then we can expect to see price push higher from there, right? That's another opportunity. You might want to also go for a 1-to-1 or a little more than that, using the daily time frame as your execution, as your execution time frame. So in another scenario, we see price drop down into the 1.23112 zone and gives us a bullish day close above that zone, then we can also look for an opportunity to buy from there, right? It's very important that you take note of these scenarios. They're very important. Now, like I said, the market has been bearish for some months, but now, considering the fact that also for some months the market has been successfully pushing higher, we see more bullish candles than bearish candles. So or maybe we see more bigger bullish candles rather than bearish candles. So I think we should favor more of the bullish in the meantime. Of course, we're not forgetting that it is overall it is a bearish move in the monthly time frame. We're not forgetting that, but we also have to be careful, because the market being bearish does not mean it's not going to be bullish sometime. What if this is the beginning of a bullish move? Yeah, so we have to keep our fingers crossed on that one. For either case, like I just predicted, either case, in either of the scenarios, a one-to-one would be good, because a one-to-one is not too much for a counter trend, and also is something in a trend continuation trade as well. Whether it's counter trend or trend continuation, one-to-one, if it's going to be profitable, you're making some money, right? And when you use highly profitable signals like mine, you don't have to worry, because that one-to-one will yield you a lot of profits. I'm aware many people are more interested in the 1-to-20 or 1-to-5 or whatever out there, but I know and I understand that those are also very profitable. Well, one-to-one, a solid one-to-one with a very solid strategy that has a high probability of winning regularly, or high expectation rather. With a one-to-one, you can do a whole lot of equity, a whole lot of profit. Yeah, so let's move on to the next currency pair. I believe my analysis on the GBPUSD was clear enough. So let's move on to the next. Let's take a look at the monthly. What has the USDCHF been saying on the monthly? So we can see it's been pushing sideways. Yeah, it's been pushing quite sideways if we were to judge from 2011. Looking at how it's been going sideways, there's another range over here. Let me highlight that if I can. We can see a significant range over here, right? And there's also a seemingly bigger range. Maybe, where am I going to take it from? Okay, let me take it from here then. You can see a bigger range over here as well. Let me edit this. So we can see a bigger range over there. Give me a minute or a second. So there you go. We have another bigger range over there. Yeah, that's it. We have a bigger range over here as well. So we see that price is coming closer to the base of the range, or the support of the range as well. That's for the monthly time frame. So it's neither bullish nor bearish as I would judge it. But if we judge from this time, That's I think that was 2001. We can say it's a bearish market, but I think that's too far behind to be judging the future of the market with. Now, so what I'm going to do, we have USD CHF here now. In the weekly, we've come down to the weekly. In the weekly, we see what is looking like a bearish move, because we could see, let me make an adjustment with this one as well. Because we can see price, we can see how price pushed higher over here, and we can see this range, right? We see this range play out, but then we see this breakdown. Price broke below the range support, right, and then pushed back into the range. Price pushed back into the range, and guess what? Dropped again. It came close to the previous high of this, and then it crashed again, this time around below the previous low, right? So this might be a good signal to let us know that this is a bearish trend, judging from the weekly inside the range. We're still inside the monthly range, don't forget that. And price is coming close to the support of that monthly range, right? Don't forget that as well. And we see that price hits that monthly range support down here. In fact, almost the same price. The low of this candle was 0.85131. The low of this one, of the initial range, was 1. Let me see, 1.00. Is that correct? I knew something was wrong. It's 0.83284. 0.83284. And this one as well, 0.83319. So almost the same price that both of them came into. So as price, now the question is, has price come into the zone to push, to start continue the range and go back to the range resistance over here? Is that what price is doing? Well, we're not sure. We can't say for sure right now. What we have to do is keep our fingers crossed and judge from what is currently happening. So now we go to the execution time frame, which is the daily time frame. So what do we have here? Now what we have here, we've seen price come close to this zone, this 0.86983 zone, right? So if we see price come push into the zone, into the 0.8693983 zone, and gives us a bearish day close below that zone, then I would expect that we go for a sell, right? We can go for a sell right there. If it meets your confirmation, you can go for a sell, right? But if price pushes lower, or let's say it even comes down, it comes back down into the zone, into the 0.83319 zone, and gives us a bullish day close above that zone, then I would expect price to also push higher, at least do a 1-to-1. Now, because this is a range, we have to be careful, right? We can see from the monthly time frame we have a range, so we have to be careful with our targets, right? Don't forget that we have to be careful with our targets, considering this is a range. So I think a 1-to-1 for either scenarios makes a lot of sense. So if price also just pushed higher to either the 0.87 or if price pushes higher to the 0.87647 zone or the 0.89266 zones, So if it pushes higher to any of those zones and gives us a bearish day close below that zone, any of those zones actually, you can also go for a one-to-one for either. Yeah. So that is that for USDCHF. That's simple and straightforward. Now let's go to the next currency pair, which is the USDJPY. Now for USDJPY, what do we expect? Or what should we expect? Well, we see USDJPY has been very bullish, right? So bullish it broke above almost it broke above a 25-year-old high. Yeah, it broke above a 25-year-old high. That's how bullish it has been over time, over the years, over the months. Yeah, that's how it has been. So what are we looking out for going forward? Well, the weekly time frame also tells us it's been bullish, and we see this bullish pin bar also. So is there a sign that it's going to continue higher? Well, we can't tell for now, but let's look at zones where we can mark out for potential turnaround in the market. Let's take a look at this one. We can take a look at one right here. Okay, market hasn't gotten there. You can take a look at this one. This is from the monthly time frame. You can also take a look at this one. So let's look at those zones from the weekly now. Any valid zone in the weekly that we can see. I can't spot any significant one for now. Let's take a look again. Now this looks good, but I have my reservations about that. I'll most likely pick it in the daily. So let's go down to the daily time frame. Okay, so yeah, here we go. Should we pick it from here? I think so. Let's take it from there. We can see it also had impact here, and maybe also had impact. Should we push it higher? Okay. Okay, I think I have another one I would like to look at. This one right here. Zoom in a little more. Okay, here we go. This one right here. Yeah, I would also like to look at that. And not just that one. Also this right here. Good. Good. Great. So I think those are the significant zones for now. Okay, let's also take note of this one. Let's not ignore this one. Yeah. Let's not ignore that one. It's also very important. Good. So what should we be looking out for now? Well, simple and straightforward. Don't forget, this is a bullish currency pair right now. It is really bullish, right? So let's look at a bearish scenario. What if we have a bearish scenario where price pushes higher and comes into the zone, the 150.778 zone, and gives us a bearish day close below that zone, right? And from there, sell. We can sell. If it meets your criteria, you can sell for a one-to-one right there. A one-to-one right there will make a lot of sense. A whole lot of sense, right? Don't do more than a one-to-one, considering this is a very bearish currency pair. Very bullish rather currency pair. Now, if we see price come into the 140.893 zone and gives us a bullish day close above that zone. Now, I would expect, considering that it's a bullish time frame, or a bullish pair rather, I would expect that you can go for more than a one-to-one, right? You can go for more than a 1-to-1. You can do a 1-to-1 to be safe. You can go for more than a 1-to-1. You know, maybe into the zone. You can look for a bullish move into this other 144.818 zone. You know, just buy till you hit another resistance right there. Yeah, so that's another possibility. And I think the other zones are quite, you know, further away. If it can, if price comes into the zone as well, if it comes into the zone and gives us a bullish move, you can also buy from there. You know, whichever of the scenarios come up. I'm talking about the zone. So if price pushes lower, right, pushes lower into this 136.975 zone and gives us a bullish day close above that zone, then we can go for a 1-to-1 right there, or even go for higher. We can go for as high as the 140.893 zone, even to the 144.818 zone, or even hold on till it breaks the previous high. Whichever way you want to trade it, there's a probability that it might actually break the previous high, because the market is currently very bullish. So to the next currency pair, the USD currency pair. Now USD, let's take a look at it from the monthly time frame right now. Now USD is also in a range. I will consider this a range right now, and I'll show you what I mean. This is what I'm talking about. I hope you can see that. So it's also in a long-term range, right? You see price in a long-term range, right? And how do we deal with that? Well, we deal with that simply by making sure we only trade the opportunities presented to us and nothing else. That is how you deal with that. Okay. The monthly time frame. Let's take a look at the monthly time frame. What's it saying? Ranging, but currently pushing higher. Is it pushing higher to come back into the range resistance? I don't know. We can't say. No one can actually say, right? No one can actually say. We can only predict. There's a possibility it pushes higher. There's a possibility it pushes higher into the zone. It's a very possible scenario. It's a very possible scenario that pushes higher into that zone, and it might not. So let's take a look at the weekly. Now that we established that we're currently in a range. Now the interesting thing about the weekly is this. I'll show you this as well. The weekly is also in a smaller range. So I'll zoom out to show you what I mean. Now look at the bigger range. Can you see the bigger range? And can you see the smaller range inside the bigger range? That's what we're dealing with right now. So we have a range inside a range. Now, how do we deal with this? Well, now it's as though the range inside the weekly time frame, the smaller one, has already hit the range resistance. Now we can pick a range resistance from here, and we can also look at it from here. So both, you know, cases apply, because we've seen that, you know, part play out. Okay, I think it has even hit that. It has even come close to that one. It has come close to the higher one. So we can also pick it from high up here. So we've seen it come close. So now there's a possibility that it has hit the range resistance and might drop from there. But who knows? We still keep our fingers crossed. Now on the daily time frame, what do we have? We have price coming close to this 1.34016 zone. Now, since price has come close to that zone, if we see price come into the 1.37016 zone and gives us a bullish day close above that zone, we can go for a 1-to-1. If it meets your criteria, if it meets your confirmation, get in for a 1-to-1, right? But if price doesn't meet your confirmation, or if we get another scenario where price pushes high into either the 1.37902 zone or the 1.38596 zone, and it gives us a bearish day close below that zone, then we can also go for a 1-to-1 right there, where we can sell off and go for a 1-to-1 right there as well. So that's one thing to take note of for the USD card. It's a range, it's a market in a range. You don't want to overstay your welcome. Trust me, you don't want to, right? And I think that is that for USD card, and that is that for this analysis. But quickly, let me show you this. It will really benefit you. The premium forex signals service, which goes for $200 monthly. Now there's a 10% referral commission for anyone who gets anyone on board. Yeah, that's just to encourage people to spread the word about the premium forex signal service. It goes for $200 monthly, and this is what would give you the highest possible profits in your trading career, right? And I'm not bluffing, I'm not missing words when I say this. I know what I'm talking about, because the strategies we use are highly profitable, and you cannot compare what we put in the premium forex signal service to what we put out publicly, right? So I'm charging $200 for it monthly, so that is to tell you that definitely it's going to be a lot more value than what I put out here for free, right? You get the exact signals, you get the price points, where to get into the trade and where to come out, right? And highly profitable trading signals that would help you take your trading to the highest possible level, the highest profit level. And the systems I use are highly profitable and have been tested over the years, and they work well, right? They work really well. So yeah, so if you're curious, why would the signal go for $200 monthly? Well, come and find out. You see that indeed there's nothing like it. So my contact is in the description below. Copy the link to my Telegram contact is in the description below. Copy that link to my direct Telegram contact, paste it in your browser, and chat me up and let me know you would like to come on board, and then we talk about it. So thanks for watching this video. Bye for now.